Not even high-speed train skills to match that. Maybe true, but we still have our own strengths. How's the investigation coming along? Well, it's been pretty blatant about trying to obstruct us, so basically about what we expected. Same is true in other areas as well. Understood. Found pattern 13. I'll do myself this afternoon. Yes, ma'am.
Sight. My brother told me all about it, but there's no substitute for seeing it soar through the skies. Simply beautiful. Yes, it really is. You're up there, aren't you, Rean?
Wow! That's the Courageous! Oliver finally finished his airship!
It's a fine ship, isn't it? Prince Oliver seems to have gone to quite a lot of trouble having it built.
Is this the wind of change you intend to release across our staid and troubled land? Go, my son, and show me the caliber of man you can be.
Can you believe it's been almost 2 years already? And look at how far our debaucherous prince has managed to come. Partnering with Liberl to make a second Arcel-class airship, then cruising over the capital? I suppose that's one way to stick it to you for outmaneuvering him at the trade conference.
Let him have his fun for now. Still, this was certainly an unexpected play on his part. He and that band of students he likes to ship across the country have proven a never-ending source of entertainment. But now, my dear Prince Oliver, we have reached a decisive point. The board has been prepared, every piece in its place. Can you turn the tides in your favor? I look forward to finding out.
It's currently 10:02, and we have a north-northwesterly wind blowing in at a speed of 11 Arj. We've just passed through the Schwartz-Drake Barrier's airspace into the province of Nortia.
Current speed is 3,050 SPH. We've reached full cruising velocity.
Maintain current course and speed. Follow the Nortia main line, maintaining a distance of 200 Arj.
Aye, aye, Captain.
So this is what the bridge of a cruiser looks like. So, trying to make my head spin. If I'm not mistaken, this ship is equipped with the Epstein Foundation's latest information processing system. So I actually managed to get the Rhineford Group, Zeiss Central Factory, and the Epstein Foundation to collaborate? I suppose you would be the most well-informed on matters of technology. Through the combined efforts of countless supporters to take this airship from blueprint to beauty. And because of great many people, no small amount of trouble gathering the technology and funds to build it. And it's nice to know even princes have trouble with financing sometimes. Well, it's true. I had to borrow quite a sum from a number of sources, with the Emperor himself among them. And all my labors bore fruit, and we were able to build an airship that met all of my ideal specifications. A length of 75 Arj, it's almost twice the size of the original Arcel. With it supporting 20 ZCF's high-performance engines achieve a top speed of roughly 3,000 SPH. Not quite as fast as their sales 3,600 SPH, but the Courageous boasts higher armor and interception capabilities. Good grief, memorized all the specs already. Still, the more I hear about it, the more unbelievable it sounds. Something is compensating for something. I heard something like this was in development, but I never imagined you packed this much power into it. Well, now we have a rough idea how extravagant the ship is, but what I don't understand is why my father's sitting in the captain's seat. Not even part of the military. Unless, you actually enlisted in the Imperial Army? I can understand why you might be perplexed. However, this ship isn't part of any military force. It's officially regarded as property of the Imperial family? Precisely. I intend the ship to give wings to third faction ships, unconnected to both the Imperial and Provincial armies. To that end, I think of no fighter captain than Viscount Arcade. Well, that at least explains some of it. I see what you're getting at, yeah. Fastest airship in the Empire, captained by the Radiant Blade Master. You couldn't ask for a stronger deterrent than that, I'll say. Well, that's my hope anyway. But half the crew here are on loan from my division, the 7th Army. The rest are civilians representing a variety of nationalities and social classes. Yes, I mean, I'm here just because I'm good at gathering information. They've also tasked me as the point man, for keeping in touch with the guild and all its local branches. That was definitely a good choice, he's got tact and patience to spare. Me, on the other hand, I'm more of the face-punching type. Frankly, I'm so shocked with you. I never imagined we'd be flying in such a marvel of a ship with such a distinguished crew. I'm curious, though. I'm intending to tour the entire Empire like this. That's their plan, yes. The hope is that it might assuage some of the tension that's been building across the nation. If we're having to intimidate the Imperial Liberation Front while we're at it, all the better. Makes sense considering we got their own airship, too. Unfortunately, the RMP seem to be keeping them in check for now, but having a ship like this in the air will definitely put even more pressure on the Liberation Front. In other words, the ship allows me to kill 3 birds with 1 stone. Genius, isn't it? And if I ever feel the urge to stretch my wings, I can take the skies whenever the mood strikes me. Perhaps one day I'll even be able to put on a recital soaring the skies above Heimdall. Well, putting aside certain idiotic flights of fancy, the speed should take less than an hour to reach Ruhr. Feel free to make yourselves at home while you're aboard. Aside from restricted areas like the engine room, you can around the ship, get around and poke around a bit. And that's how we ended up flying to our destination aboard the Empire's newest, most fantastical design. We just didn't just sit and look out the windows since we had the captain's permission. Instead about exploring the Courageous, seeing what this top-of-the-line airship had to offer. And it certainly does look cool. Hey everyone, welcome back to more Legend of Heroes, Trails of Cold Steel. I'm SlayerMathis, and last time, we boarded the Courageous. And this time, we're gonna run around a little bit. We should be fine with the stuff that Laura has. It's fine. You could have told me about this a little sooner. That's the reason you've been so busy lately. I apologize for the secrecy, but much of this project fell under the veil of strict confidentiality. Some things I'm forgetting to speak of, even to my daughter. I'm sure you realize that. Klaus must have known, right? Why was he allowed to know while I was left in the dark? We're really honored to have been invited aboard. It can rest a bit easier in Ruhr, knowing we had an Imperial escort. You too can. The Provincial Army will have little choice but to accommodate you. The ship's purpose is to act as a deterrent to both factions, as well as the Imperial Liberation Front. By doing that, we hope that the Courageous will hold the old guard at bay long enough for something new to take root. Sure it will. Chose wisely naming you captain. Still, I assume that's not the ship's only purpose. Well, the airship disadvantage seems excessive if you're going to use it as a deterrent. Perceptive of you, that I wasn't able to discuss this with you properly when you were on the ground last month. I'm proud to see just how much you've grown since your last enrolled at the Academy. And the class to thank for that. Learning alongside them has been a constant source of insights. How'd you do it? Slow getting along with the other students? They should be fitting in fine. It's reassuring to you. At times, I worry that growing up in a sword-fighting household causes her to end up less well-rounded than her peers. Hope you and the others will continue looking out for her. Like Smiths, can't imagine class 7 without her. I get the feeling she's something more to you than simply a classmate. Wherever the truth may be, I hope she'll continue treating her as the lady she is. I'm not one to abide inappropriate behavior toward my daughter. I don't have the faintest idea what you're talking about, but I'd like to think I know how to conduct myself towards classmates. Two going on about with you whispering in your furtive glances. Something you need to concern yourself with, just a little discussion between men. You needn't worry, we'll get you safely to your field study. As a student of Thor's, I expect you to give it your utmost. It's care about her. Viscount Arcade is a cool dad. Yeah, this airship is really cutting edge. Prince Oliver does love his surprises. There's a turn Honda on the SlayerMathis. There are only certain people that we need to talk to. We don't need to talk to everyone, but we might as well go through all of our classmates. We're seeing along show smooth. I almost feel like we want to believe. Like the ship's a crimson Pegasus soaring through the sky. We're like you know who we know. Can't imagine many people ever get to experience something like this. We owe the winds and our goddess our thanks. And we can just continue our exploration. And we'll head down to the junction area. Over here you can see there's the front deck, there's rear deck. Lots of deck. Come on, nobody wants to see dudes sing, it's all about the ladies. Let's have to make the outfit skimp, you know. Guys will be breaking down the doors to get in. Been working on what to do for a concert? I got the general gist of it figured out now, but well, let me ask you, Ian, what do you prefer, male or female vocals? It's a really important question too, since it'll change the audience we draw. Well, let me try both. You know what? That'd be perfect. I feel like the 2 songs would be the perfect length too. Rehearsing will be a bit tougher, but I think we should do it. Let's use both plans too. See me complaining. Here's about the subtlety of a sledgehammer. You know this is supposed to be direct competition with Class 1, correct? It's something to do with their degree of class in order to take them on. I don't know, I feel like the problem is that they're too classy. So, maybe that's just me. Boarding gate, can't enter. Which, fair enough, I suppose. We can just investigate around here. Right here we have a shop with things. And you know what? Let's exchange all of our money and just buy a bunch of ingredients. I plan to do some cooking when we get back, so we might as well just load up on all the ingredients we could possibly load up on. We do have Elliot, so we can actually continue to make cash off of just spamming food. And they actually have quest things over them, so I don't want to talk to Sarah and Toval quite yet. We do want to let's just explore the ship a little bit more before going to talk to the big bad adults. Whoa, the ship is amazing! We're flying faster than a bird! Take that, bird! I kind of want one. This game's let me get my own airship if I ask him. Real nice. You can already fly around there, get them. Don't go getting too greedy. I feel so beautiful. I feel like I'm weightless, soaring peacefully above the clouds. You know, this is actually the first time we've ever been aboard an airship. I think I'm starting to feel a little dizzy. Is that normal? Airship using the core was pretty fast, but this one's even faster. In fact, specs seem pretty high across the board. Fancy stuff. A dull moment in Class 7, I guess. Fia definitely seems like she was probably the most reserved about going. Not necessarily the most reluctant. I think that honor goes to Machias, because of his whole outbreak that he had. But, you know, Fia definitely wasn't the most fond of it. Let's see, anyone here that's important? Not really. Talk to Sharon and Elisa. I can't believe what I was hearing. No idea the Rhineford Company was involved in developing something on this scale all this time. Then I found out it was a collaboration with the Epstein Foundation and CCF. Top actually got our hands in the development of our Arcus units too. It's way too much work for one person. How many projects does Mother have under her wing right now? I'm afraid I can't give a simple answer to that, but suffice to say, the chairman only knows about a small number of projects in development by the Rhineford Group. Lately, the directors have... Oh? Hello, Master Ian. Am I interrupting something? No, it's okay. Finished exploring the airship? I expect to be a while longer before we reach Ruhr. I don't even think it's half of it yet. It's kind of overwhelming. Looking forward to landing in Ruhr, though. It's been a while since I've seen the industrial metropolis. It's not too far from my hometown, so I'd always hear about it in passing. It's from Ymir, so it's just good to... And a little refresher, could bring up to speed on all things Ruhr. It used to be a factory town, but grew to a hotspot for technology as a result of its steel and heavy industry. Population's around 200,000, the cities in the Norsha province. It's under Marcus Ragnar's jurisdiction. It's really kind of wild that Angelica is his daughter. Last time I visited, it felt like the whole city was made, and trees and grass were rare sights. it's kind of hard to tell how large the city really is. Well, the city itself is basically one giant structure divided into several levels. It's been expanded so many times that even long-term residents occasionally wind up in places they don't recognize. Why, I've lost count of the number of times I've had to go pick up Lady Elisa when she lost her way. It was when I was a kid, don't say it like it still happens. Really, it was a long time ago. Something tells me we're looking at the not quite so distant past. North there is the Saxon Iron Mine. The iron mine there makes its way into most of the Rhineford Group's products in some form or another. The amount of ore they get from just that one mine is immense. The Empire would be a different place today without it. The types of making the Saxon mines been vital to the Empire since back before the Revolution. Even in the center of Ruhr, you can't miss the Rhineford Group's corporate headquarters, which is also basically my house. See, I was hoping I wouldn't have to go back anytime soon. I guess there's no point moping about it now. We've yet to have a field study that didn't spawn into some sort of hectic adventure, but I'm ready if you are. Wishing you all the best. Thank you, Sharon. That's very nice of you. Still very suspicious that you know everything about everything, and also can teleport. I don't know, I'm a little bit perturbed by that, I will admit. Over to the front deck to talk to Vander and
At
Albert.
long last, the Courageous has finally taken to the skies of Erebonia. I feel like a mother hen watching her chicks leave the nest.
I'll take your word for it.
This may sound a bit forward of me to say, but it sounds like you had some hurdles getting this project together.
It was no easy ride, I'll say that.
I doubt it would have come together without the prince's unwavering dedication and tireless work. He had to find the time to raise funds and oversee the entire project, in addition to all his official duties. And to add to that, he had to take care of all the arrangements necessary to get Viscount Arcade installed as its captain.
I can't even imagine how busy your schedule must have been. Even from a student's perspective, it sounds brutal.
Well, for this ship to have any weight as a deterrent, I needed the Viscount. Thankfully, he agreed to my request. My plan is to create a neutral third power capable of acting independently of our nation's two competing factions. You can think of the Courageous as the first physical embodiment of that ideal.
A third party, huh? I feel like I'm starting to understand at least part of what it is you're trying to accomplish.
The road will be a difficult one, though.
True, but this is only the beginning. Seeing this ship soar through the clouds for the first time moves my heart. Just as when Class 7 was formally established, I look forward to seeing what the future holds for the Courageous. And for the brave men and women of your class.
Your Highness.
We live in interesting times. The political situation across the Empire seems to grow more ominous by the day. But, with any luck, making a real show out of this ship's launch will push back against the prevailing climate.
Well, that's the hope at least. Either way, you'll have your whole life to split hairs about politics. For now, give your attention to your field study.
Thank you. I know you have high expectations for us, and I hope we'll be able to meet them.
We have the Emperor. Well, not the Emperor. We have the Prince's backing. He's not gonna ever be Emperor. That's going to the other one. Cedric? Something like that? I don't know. He's unimportant. Oliver is the one that showed up in the other game. Cedric is just there.
Instructor Sarah? Tova? What are you guys doing out here?
Oh, just a little bracer-to-bracer information swapping.
That's about the long and short of it. Been a while since I saw you guys, though. Not since last month in Legram.
Yeah, always nice to see a friendly face, though.
Well, despite keeping in touch with him and setting up these arrangements, it came as a surprise to me to see him on board, too.
Clearly, it was meant to be. Honestly, I was only brought on because of my connection with Viscount Arcade.
This airship really is in a class all its own, though. It's not every day you see a ship owned by the Imperial family and captained by the Radiant Blade Master.
This cruiser has the potential to be an important force in Erebonia going forward. Without ties to the Imperial or provincial armies, it can potentially keep both of them in check if need be. It might not be able to do that quite as well as a strong guild presence could, but it'll still help protect a lot of people.
That's true. It still frustrates me how the guild used to be an institution here, and now we're just barely keeping the lights on. At least the Crossbell branch sends its people over to help us out when we need a hand, though.
Wenzel's one thing, but we owe McLean so many favors, I've lost count.
McLean? Wait, are you talking about...
Oh, yeah, I guess you would have heard of him. He's an A-rank bracer over at the Crossbell branch. A guy we used to work with named Wenzel works there now too. Wait, maybe we should back it up a bit.
The guy we're talking about is Arios McLean, aka the Divine Blade of Wind. The name probably sounds familiar to you because he's also a practitioner of the 8 Leaves 1 Blade style.
Yeah, that's who I was thinking of. I've never met him myself, but I heard a lot about him from my master. He mastered the school's second form. It sounds about as untouchable as anyone who holds the title of Divine Blade.
Well, he's pretty damn strong, I'll give you that. Bailed me out of more tough spots than I'd like to admit. Speaking of, you know who else is a student of the 8 Leaves School? Cassius Bright. We were talking about him before, remember? He's the bracer who took command during that big incident 2 years ago. Though from what I heard, he left the way of the sword behind a while back.
Cassius Bright was here in Erebonia. Wait, 2 years ago.
It was an eventful time, to put it lightly. And yeah, we have Cassius to thank for getting us past that. But afterward, well, you know the story from there. They shuttered guild branches all across the Empire, one after the other, and your dear, sweet instructor was out of a job.
I'd be glad to give you all the grisly details, but it's a long story. We should probably save it for another time. But hey, the guild seems to have a good track record with folks from the 8 Leaves School. Maybe you should consider a career as a bracer. Door's always open, you know?
Me? A bracer? Huh. I never really thought about it before.
Hey, there's enough of us singing the bracer blues without you trying to recruit my students.
Never hurts to start them early. Seriously though, we're always looking for more good people. If that's something you wanted to do, I wouldn't turn you down.
I'll give it some thought.
Both of the names that they went on about there are from other games within the Trails series. This whole because again, the series does have a few different arcs to it. This is the, as the name would imply, the Erebonia arc. There's Cold Steel, there's Sky. Those are the two 3-part series. There's also Zero and Ow. I don't know how to pronounce it. The McLean guy, he shows up in Zero and Ow, and then Cassius Bright also does show up a little bit in Trails in the Sky, but that is not what this game is. This is Trails of Cold Steel, so they're not here. Next time, we'll probably be landing in Ruhr. So until then, see you guys later.